Draft season is unfortunately upon us for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings, so let's dive on in right away because given the cap situation, even though #CapSmith, Vikings probably aren't going to be big players in free agency, although they can get the money. Joe Thuney / Brandon Scherf or Leonard Williams, no matter what. But here are the top 5 Vikings draft needs heading into 2021. So now, this is straight needs, not necessarily in order of how they're going to come off the board, because lots of things will factor in. The board, as well as positional importance, plus draft abundance at said position, etc. So, yeah. Also, it doesn't really factor in free agency, but like we said, So, number 1, defensive interior. Yeah, the Vikings have to get some beef back inside in the trenches. Let's go. So the Vikings were 27th against the run this season and registered only 2.5 sacks between their 3 primary defensive interiors, Jaleel Johnson, Shamar Stephen, and Armand for Watts combined. Yeah. God forbid you play James Lynch, but nah. But penetration of that 3-tech is going to be key. And if the Vikings win Davion Nixon out of Iowa or Christian Barmore from Alabama in the first round, I would get it. I would understand it. But trading up in the second round, getting that second round pick back for Jalen Twyman from Pitt or Levi Onwuzurike from Washington or Aleem McNeil from NC State, yeah, be a little bit more on board with that, especially if you went in a different direction round 1. We'll get to said directions in round 1. Also, by the way, even though, yes, Michael Pierce is going to be back at nose tackle, but I would hedge your bets. I would pick up a young 340, 350-pound dude that you can also toss in goal line situations as well as in 4th and 1 spots. I really like myself some Teradell / TJ Slayton from Florida. He's really my early, mid to late round favorite because he can move. I mean, 350, 360 if he's an ounce, but the kid can move and really, I love it. Anyways, next up, Vikings draft need number 2 heading into 2021. Offensive line. Yeah, so it's been this way basically since 2012. But the Vikings, it does seem like they're just one offensive line piece away. I'm not going to say what position, but Riley Reif, frankly, he played well enough to come back, probably on a pay cut from his $11.65 million base salary next year. Maybe move to guard. Free Ezra Cleveland. He is a left tackle, but I digress. But round 1, you're going to have a myriad of options, both for interior as well as that tackle. So interior, Wyatt Davis, Rashawn Slater, who projects to kick inside at the NFL level. Maybe Alex Leatherwood, who has been Alabama's left tackle, but started at guard. I could see that first round. Or if they do trade up in day 2 yet again, Elijah Vera Tucker from USC, who played guard, played some tackle this year. I love him. Plus, Trey Smith, if his medicals check out from Tennessee, I really like him. Plus, Landon Dickerson, again, medicals come back from that knee injury. The center from Alabama can play guard as well. I mean, I just want beef and attitude on the inside. I mean, that's what we need. Both trenches, as well as Jack Anderson has been an early crush of mine from Texas Tech. Or if they go tackle, which get good bodies in. You figure out who plays who and who plays where. Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech. Walker Little, another medical guy from Stanford, as well as, hell, I mean, if Daniel Falele declares the 400-pound right tackle from the Gophers, I don't care, man. Just put him at guard. Put him at both guards. He's big enough to play both. Why the hell not? Next up, Vikings draft need number 3, safety. Yeah, your safety is not guaranteed. So if Harris leaves, which it looks like he's going to, and rightfully so, the safety depth behind Harrison Smith is Josh Metellus and Luther Kirk and Curtis Riley. And so, yeah, even though Zimmer has famously downplayed the importance of safety before, I do like Trevor Morig as well as Ardarius Washington from TCU. They both popped when watching some Jeff Gladney tape from last season. Also, Paris Ford from Pitt. Javon Holland from Oregon has been on the draft radar, it feels like, for years at this point, early in day 2 or even way through day 2. Plus, Caden Stearns from Texas. Greg Eisworth II, I really like from Iowa State. So there is going to be options available. Even though this is a higher need, I don't think that they'll necessarily go safety first round. There might not even be a first round safety drafted this year, or even on day 2. So it could be in that mix in terms of the 4th round, where the Vikings are projected to eventually have 4 4th round picks, as well as a name to keep tabs on. So San Diego State safety Tariq Thompson, who I love. I adore. He's not going to be a physical freak, but a guy with leadership and headiness who just beats you. I like him. I just can't shake it, but I absolutely adore his tape. Next up, key number 4, not key number 4. Need number 4 for the Minnesota Vikings in the 2021 draft. Edge rusher. Yeah, it's going to be coming up. Now, Vikings could easily go edge in round 1 because Yannick the Freak Ngakoue led the team in sacks with 5, even though he was here for 6 games. Awesome. But also, it's lower on the needs list because, frankly, say the Vikings don't draft a week 1 edge rush contributor in the draft in April. Well, you still have Daniil, you still have DJ One, you still have Afadi, where you would like some upgrading, sure. But also, it's kind of okay. I mean, if the Vikings, once again, push off edge rusher to the mid-rounds, and then you get a developmental guy who in a year or 2 will be something, sure, okay. But, I mean, first round, the Vikings at 14 could be in play for Kwity Paye from Michigan. I love Gregory Rousseau from Miami, as well as, well, not really his teammate, but also the guy who wore number 15 at Miami. Jalen Phillips is legit. And then Azeez Ujulari from Georgia. I love him. I would put him, frankly, as number 2 in terms of edge rushers beyond Kwity Paye. Joseph Asai is a freak from Texas, as well as Jason Owe. There's so many physical freaks that I don't think the Vikings may be able to ignore it, depending on what happens with offensive linemen and defensive tackles early on in the draft. Well, not defensive tackles. I don't know if there's going to be another DT taken in the first round this year, but man, it's going to be weird on edge because tendency, so the Vikings have never drafted an edge rusher in the first 2 rounds since Spielman got here in 2007. The highest is, of course, Daniil Hunter in the 3rd round, as well as, Scott Crichton, remember him? Awesome, but yeah, we'll see. Lastly, draft need number 5 for the Vikings, wide receiver, right? So third, I know what you're saying. Well, we're a run first team. Well, who's the 3rd option behind Jefferson and Thielen? Can you get a guy who can take the top off the defense or underneath, working on some option routes, be a blanket for Kirk Cousins, and eventually take over for Adam Thielen as he ages out? Because, I mean, BC Johnson, I like the story, but Chad Beebe, I like the story, Also, he's a restricted free agent, so you're going to pay Chad Beebe $3 million? Is that what you're going to do? And even though the Vikings are a run-first team, would love to have that speed option. Just that guy, just run 9s, let's go. And also, wide receiver, likely not a first-round option because, I mean, Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase are probably going to be gone by 14, probably. But Jalen Waddle could firmly be in play. And if that ankle checks out, man, that speed, that dynamic playmaking ability, plus would double as a kick and punt returner as well, man. But also, if you're looking mid-round, guys like Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State, Elijah Moore from Ole Miss, even though, now the Ole Miss wide receiver, please. Daz Newsome from North Carolina, of course, had that great catch in the bowl game, plus Tutu Atwell from Louisville. Yes, son of former Gopher legend Tutu Atwell would be amazing. But in terms of wide receiver 3 with some upside and some speed, as well as help in the return game, absolutely. Plus, we've said it, quarterback of the future, Desmond Ridder. No matter what it takes, man, just get it done. But that's it. That's our top 5 draft needs for the Vikings head into the offseason. What are your thoughts? What's your order? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.